Well, I have shit to do today, and I just called, and Cheryl isn't around. Who knows where she is? It's not like it's imperative that I talk to her anyway. But I'm going to tell her. I'm going to remind her, when she listened to me for those 2 hours that I sat there with Omar in my arms, I arrived in tears, of course. Because I had nowhere to turn. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to do to my mom what I had never in my life done to her. I'd watched other people do it, call the police on her. And then after talking to Cheryl for hours and talking to Dog Woman repeatedly and talking to Cheryl again, I finally did the right thing. And if you know me, you know what happened. I did the right thing and got blown off by everybody, from my mom's psychologist to the police, acting like I'm a little girl making it all up. And then I went through 8 fucking days of hell. Okay? But what I'm going to say to Cheryl is, I'll let her talk. I won't tell her I talked to my mom. And then I'll say, yeah, I know. I've said, because when I was talking to Cheryl for those 2 hours, I told her, when I get upset with my mother over things that aren't her fault, since her illness is not her fault, I become consumed with self-hatred. And Cheryl didn't know me from Adam, and she's like, that's horrible, that you shouldn't do that, I don't want to hear that. I'm like, yeah, but it's not my mom. She's like, well, we know we shouldn't get mad at people. Yeah, but my mom getting mad at her is like kicking a puppy, okay? One time she sat on her couch and she's crying, and she's like, I'm sorry, I'm such a disappointment to you. Anyway, I'm going to tell Cheryl that I pulled a Marion on my mom. It's not my mom's fault that her social worker doesn't give one flying fuck about things that are so important to me, I have to leave today, and I have to catch the bus, and I want to stop at the liquor store to see if they have any of the 12% cans. I'm not going to buy anything less. That's the biggest bang for your buck, and I'm poor. Again. Not as poor as me, but I have shit I have to buy. I'm going to need to get an eye exam. I have to get new contact lenses. I can they're almost out of them. I put my new ones, my last set, in today. And if I take care of them and don't sleep in them, and put them in a brand new case, I'm supposed to change a case every month, they can last me like a month if I don't, drop them and step on them when I'm trying to take them out when I'm drunk or something, like I've done in the past. Because I only have one left. I have the right and left eye, and then I have one of either the right or left eye left, and that's it. So I have to find out what my dental cleaning is with that holistic dentist. It takes me zillion hours to get to. But I am going to tell Cheryl. I don't know if I've ever said it to her in the way that I was saying it to you guys. Nobody cares, like my mom's doctors don't care. Were it not for Cheryl, I would not right this second know where the fuck my mother was, okay? And now she's going somewhere else, an interim place, before she goes home for another month. All this time, there'd be no way in hell I would know. I wouldn't know where she was. I wouldn't know. And then, of course, she's not going to have the same phone. Of course, Mary in all these months has shut off her phone. She's going to have a brand new phone. How would I have ever known where she was? I wouldn't have, and I would have been going out of my fucking mind. And just that alone makes me very, very justifiably enraged. Okay? But I cannot be calling my mom and getting upset with anything she says to me in regards to anything. I can't pull a Marion on her. I can't be getting upset with her like I did when I, even after telling myself that I wouldn't. It was uncontrollable. I did have undisclosed desires on my MP3 player. I just took Homer for a 30-minute walk, and he went poo-poo. I'm taking off all day, so of course I'll come home to poo-poo in the house, but that's to be expected. Anytime I take off all day, that's to be expected. It's just how it is. you know. And I hope I don't bump into anybody I know, but I probably will. I'm going to wear my sunglasses that I'm just going to ignore anybody. Because I have shit I have to do today. I won't be posting this until, you know, I've already accomplished the shit I have to do today. Remember, I spent 6.5 months in that fucking shelter, okay? I can't, you know, of course what do you think? I mean, I got on mass health. There's different things. I might have to go back to, you know, even if I don't have to go right, the general area or wherever, don't you think if I was going to a hospital, I wasn't going to pick something super far away? There are different things that I need to do, so I'm not going to post this until tonight when I'm already back home. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going, you know, even just in case, like I said, just in case there's a psychopath out there watching me and keeping track of me and what I say, you know, just in case. But without revealing anything, anything pertinent or what, no, you know, I will tell my friends. I'll let you know what happens today in general. I don't want anything to do with those people. I told you I would have remained friends with that guy who was my friend in the shelter, but he sees me, he has a car, and he sees me literally in agony, walking like just inch by inch by inch, hunched over, and doesn't offer me a ride, doesn't say, do you need me to drive you somewhere? It wouldn't have been that much time out of his way or anything, and he didn't offer. That's not a friend. That is not a fucking friend. Okay? And as for the other one, who was my friend for like a year, I'd like to say to her, yeah, to my ex-friend from the shelter, yeah, it actually does matter. It does matter why someone like Jodi Arias does what she does, or why, you know what I mean? It does matter why people kill themselves. It does matter. As a matter of fact, I believe that the only hope for humanity is if we start thinking that it does matter. Because there are very bad people on this planet, and maybe even in other worlds, other planets, who want us to not give a shit about anything at all, okay? So it does matter. It matters to know why people do what they do. It does matter. With me, since I'm a basket case, you know, like I said, I can't separate myself from anybody. If other people do it, I can say, how do I know I won't at some point? Or I could be saying this in my 20s, in my teens. How do I know I won't someday do this? If someone else does it, how do I know I won't? Whether it's suicide or murder or whatever, how do I know? So I do have to ask the big questions, and it does matter. So for her to just say, oh, what does it matter? What does it matter? Who cares why Jodi Arias does what she does? She does what she does. Who cares? It does matter. It does. There's no hope for humanity unless people start believing that things matter. Because there are people out there who want us to be machines. They want us to not give a shit about anything at all. Okay? There are very bad people. And that's what they want. They want us to not care. And I don't know about you, but I sure as fuck would never want to exist and be one of those clones forced to, you know, work for 12 years and then they turn into food. Or I wouldn't want to be one of those clones from Cloud Atlas. Would you? You shouldn't clone. I don't believe you should clone either. And I'm reading on this, I clicked on one of those things, they cloned a puppy in Britain or something. Cloning's a fucking danger. You start cloning humans, you don't think of them as human. And that's one step away from Soylent Green. One step away from humans being raised as food or something. Real, you know. So that's my take on things. It does matter. All the things I think about, all the things I obsess about, it does matter. It does. I don't care if people like my ex-shelter friend tell me it doesn't matter and belittle me. Most people will belittle me. Just like my poem. You're all lost in your drama, you put on all your armor while I lay myself naked before you. I feel death's constant presence, so I am left defenseless. This is just something I am forced to do. Knowing the price for me, you'll whisper, oh, she's crazy, and go on with your little lives, or else you'll put me down, wish I was not around, to force you to open up your eyes. I have shit to do. I might as well. My best bet is really to call Cheryl early in the morning a lot of times. She tends to answer the phone. Instead of other people who, this one person who answers it all the time, she blows me off. I like when other people answer because they'll tell me. She just is vague. She won't tell me shit. It does matter. It does matter. Because if we don't matter, then we're not going to care if human beings are like those clone women in Cloud Atlas. Okay? And that's one step away from anything. It's one step away from what happened to not just the Jewish people, even people who supported the Jewish people or whatever, by Hitler and, you know, the Nazis and all that. If we don't matter, then nothing matters. And if we don't start thinking everything matters, bad people are going to pounce on that. They are going to pounce on it like you wouldn't believe. That's my take on things. You could take it with a grain of salt, but I couldn't be friends with that woman from the shelter. Little things she said, and I mean, here on the surface, it was nice to have her as a friend. She was cool as fuck, and she was sexual, confident, the yin yang. She made me just, you know, it was fun being around her, but deep down, I don't think she valued the things in me that a lot of people different than her, you know, completely different from her, would value in me. Okay? I don't know when the bus comes. I'm going to bring one of my Whole Food bags that I used to buy when I went to Whole Foods when I was visiting Joe for those 3+ months. Unfortunately, those 12% alcohol cans, the problem with those is you can't seal them back up. That gets a little tricky. In the past, I've put booze like bought like something, well, I put vodka in a delicious, you know, frap thing from McDonald's, you know, and I can go in the McDonald's bathroom and do that. Just pour it in there. I've done that before. Vodka is really what I should be drinking when I'm, you know, because you can't taste it. I mean, you can't smell it. I shouldn't be really getting one of those 4 things, but they're cheap. You know, that's the thing. Vodka, not so much. Plus vodka, I have to find something to mix it with, whereas the 4th thing, you just drink the can, you know. I wish I could find that Colt Blast blueberry pomegranate that I used to get in LA. I loved that. That was so good. That was the best 12% alcohol drink around. Oh. Tasted like a, ices, the blueberry raspberry icy like that I used to get sometimes at wherever, Walmart or Target, no, Target I think. In California, LA. This is what I'm going to wear today. My fancy stretchy pants that my mom, you know, purchased for me behind Marion's back. How sad. My mother has close to $60,000 into her name. Marion put $53,000 into her own pocket only because they agreed on that like 7 years ago. Whatever came out of the case, they would split. And then, you know, and then she can't buy anything for her daughter, my mom. She has to hide it. She has to pretend she's not helping me out at all or buying me anything. And you think that doesn't fuck with her mind? She even mentioned it in the hospital. She's like, I want to do this and that. I want to pay to go and get your stuff. I'll go with you. We can go to LA and get your stuff. And well, first of all, I'm like, Mom, what's gonna happen? What about the dogs? Who takes care of the dogs while we're gone? But second of all, Marion's not gonna let you. It's my money. She'll always say that like a little kid. Yeah, no, it's not, Mom. You signed your life away accidentally back in 2000. It's not your fucking money. It's Marion's money. My cunt of an Aunt Marion who doles it out to my mother and won't even let my mother buy her daughter anything. Oh, she'll let Marion, you know, she won't stop her from, it's okay if it's Christmas or a birthday or something, but other than that, no. No. I'm gonna make my shake and I gotta go. I won't talk to Cheryl today. I'll call her first thing tomorrow. I still haven't cleaned this room. The room's a disaster. I did wash all my clothes and hung them up. The ones that aren't hung up and the ones that still need to be washed, or I don't know. I have to print out the songs for my mom, and I have to find pictures. I have to do. In the end, people really have to, anybody on this planet has to realize Marion didn't spend her life helping my mom with this case. It was periodically. My mom couldn't have done it her own, but never forget. Well, Marion put $53,000 into her own pocket because of my mother's husband's wrongful death. That you know. She still won't let my mom, with her own money, spend a dime on me, pretty much. Because I paid her. See? To Marion, any way I feel about Marion is how I feel about my mom, and I don't love my mom, and I'm just taking advantage of my mom, and Marion can go fuck herself up her ass. I'm going, and I am getting drunk today, and I'm going to be walking around drunk back where... Oh, you know damn well, see, but with my sunglasses on, see, I'm bad. I can't even hide when I recognize somebody, but with my sunglasses on, nobody will know I'm recognizing them, and I could just ignore everybody. Now, there could be just blatant people who will come right up and tap on my shoulder, and if that, my ex-friend, not the woman, that guy, who I just never contacted again after I got out of that shelter, if he ever has the nerve to do that, I don't know if I would have the courage, but I just don't want to deal with you right now, David. You know, and if he pushed it, if he actually had the nerve to say something to me, like, why did you do that? I thought we were friends. I'll be like, I'll tell him. I know I will. I'm not in any kind of mood. I'll be like, you know what? You had a car. You pull up next to me. You even told me you look horrible. You know, you told me I looked like shit. You could see me walking inch by inch by inch, hunched over, because of course I had to still leave the shelter early in the morning, and I had to go wherever, and I was actually on my way to the hospital. And you didn't offer me a fucking ride. That's not a friend. The end.